So how do we deal with negative indices? Let's have a look at this through an example. First of all, we know that a to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So let's look at 5 to the power of 0 divided by 5 to the power of 3. Well, anything to the power of 0 except 0 is 1. So that becomes 1 over 5 to the power of 3. Also, if we look at this using the division rule for index laws, 0 minus 3 is minus 3. So we know 5 to the 0 divided by 5 to the 3 is 5 to the minus 3. Bringing this together, we know that 5 to the power of minus 3 is equal to 1 over 5 to the 3. So our rule for negative indices is a to the negative n is equal to 1 over a to the n. Okay, I want to introduce reciprocals here. One thing to note is that 1 over a is the reciprocal of a. So let's look at this through some numbers. So if we have 1 over 5, the reciprocal of 1 over 5 is 5. Also note, if you multiply these pair of numbers, the answer actually comes out as 1. 1 times 5 is 5, over 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So when you take the original number and multiply it by its reciprocal, the product is 1. You can find the reciprocal of a fraction just by flipping it upside down. And therefore, again, making sure the product equals 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Just shows us that reciprocal is correct. Let's look at a reciprocal with a negative index number. If we go back to our rule, a to the negative n is equal to 1 over a to the n. We need to remember that one. Before we look at the reciprocal, let's look at writing that slightly differently. Let's understand what that means. That means 1 over 3/4, which is the same as saying 1 divided by 3/4, which is the same as saying 1 multiplied by 4 over 3, which is just 4 over 3. Now I can put that back into a bracket and raise to the power of 1. If you look at this, that is the same as saying this. Bear that one in mind for a second. Now let's have a look at the reciprocal of this. We know that is equal to that. Okay, so what is the reciprocal of this? Reciprocal of this, we just flip the fraction upside down. So the reciprocal is 3 over 4 to the power of 1. So to get the reciprocal of a fractional negative index, just switch the power from negative to positive. Let's have a look at an example. The reciprocal of 4 over 5 to the raised to the power of minus 2 is just 4 over 5 raised to the power of 2. Notice they're not equal. It is the reciprocal. And the product of those would be equal to 1. Let's have a look at some examples for negative index numbers. Okay, let's look at some examples. So we're going to simplify these. 3 to the negative 2 is the same as saying 1 over 3 squared. Well, 3 squared is just 9, which is the same as saying 1 over 9. 7 to the negative 1 is just 1 over 7. Notice I don't put the 1 there. We don't need it. So 1/3 all raised to the negative 2 is the same as saying 3 over 1 squared. Well, 3 squared is 9, 1 squared is 1, 9 divided by 1 is just 9. Similar with this one, flip the fraction. Change the power. 10 to the power of 3 is 1000. 3 cubed is 27. And that's as far as we'll take that one. Finally, what looks like a very complicated equation. Let's start with the numerator. We've got 4 cubed and a minus 2 all raised to the power of 3 over 2 times 4 is 8. A to the 3 times a to the 4. Well, 3 add 4 is 7. It's just 8a to the power of 7. Let's take this further. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. This is raising to the power, so I'm multiplying these. So minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. We've got a to the minus 6, all divided by 8a to the 7. 64 divided by 8 is 8. Remember now you're doing division, so minus 6 minus 7 is minus 13. So we've got a to the power of minus 13. I hope you can see that with the laws in place and some of the rules known, this becomes very straightforward. It's just about doing one bit at a time. Well done on getting this far. So the next video is on fractional indices.